Well, welcome everyone to the Schuylkill Report. This is our show number 2, and I want to thank the people who have been responding to the show. Remember, if you have anything happening in your neighborhood, give us a ring or email sam@ssptv.com. I'd love to know what's going on. And of course, my co-host, Jerry Enders, no stranger to the Sam Lesante Show. Jerry, how are you?
Doing well, Sam. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was fabulous. I had tuna fish sandwich. And
No, you didn't.
No. We got together at my son's house.
Oh, great.
And it was great. My grandchildren were in, and it's the typical family thing,
Yeah.
you know. We didn't talk politics.
Right.
So
well, that's a good thing.
That's always a good start, but it was good. It's just getting together with the family, you know. Then we always make sure we thank God for what we have, that stuff. You travel, right?
Right. Janet and I made the trip to Michigan. Been doing that 30-some years. All her family's out there in Michigan, right around White Pigeon, Michigan, Sturgis, and a lot of people don't know where that's at. Yeah. But it's a nice community. But anyway, we always have a good time, and her mother always hosted the thing, and the rest in peace, she passed away, and her brother and his sister-in-law have taken it over years ago, and what a great family tradition. 25 to 30 people. Nieces, nephews, everybody there. So it's always a good time, Sam. And you know, one thing I always take along to Michigan, a couple cases of Yingling.
And not only that, I was just saying, the best turkeys, cucks.
Yep.
I mean, the turkey is unbelievable.
Fabulous.
It's fabulous.
Yes.
Hey, we have a great show for you today. We have Trooper Dave Beohm here from Schuylkill. He is the information officer. We're talking about scams. And then we're also here at the wonderful, beautiful Majestic Theater, and Lisa will be here, and Jerry will be asking you some questions. A lot of activities happening. But once again, this is the Schuylkill Report. It's to keep you informed what's going on. So we're going to bring, well, before I do that, I want to mention something to you. You know, we talked about Shenandoah, and I found this interesting. In 1902, in May, 150,000 mine workers struck for 6 months for higher wages, union recognition, and shorter hours. Now, in July, a riot of 5,000 strikers in Shenandoah led to the occupation of bringing the Pennsylvania National Guard in. And it was influenced by President Theodore Roosevelt to set up the Anthracite Coal Strike Commission. Some workers were granted that. And then, of course, Tommy Dorsey and Jimmy Dorsey. Quick story about Tommy Dorsey and Jimmy Dorsey. I had the pleasure of meeting Frank Sinatra.
Right.
Long story short, how I got there is a long story. But when he was coming down and talking to people, and a friend of mine, Maura Jager, who was the vice president of MGM, said, Sam, I want you to meet Frank Sinatra. I said, I saw his show. It was fabulous. I said, well, he said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And he said, from Shenandoah, you're from Shenandoah. Yeah, he said, well, you know, he worked with Tommy Dorsey from 1940 to 42.
Yes.
And he couldn't stop bragging about this area, the Shenandoah area. So there's so much history in this area.
There's a lot of history, and when the Dorseys, one of them had passed away, Jackie Gleason came up here to the funeral.
You were telling me that, yeah. Very popular. Well, anyway, let's talk to scams, my friend. It's sad, but hopefully after today's show, you'll learn something about scams. So let's bring on Dave Beohm right now, Trooper Dave Beohm. We're talking about scams, Trooper, and I was almost hooked on when they called me and they said my grandson was in trouble, and you know, we had to do this and we had to do that, and don't tell anybody, and the whole bit. And then someone called and told me she pretended she was from UPS and we're coming to your home tomorrow with a certified check for $800-some thousand. You just won the public. Yeah. So tell us what some of the things because I know there's millions of dollars that they're ripping off people with.
Yeah, I mean, what you need to do, we'll just use the first one with your grandson or grandchildren, right, where they call you, they're in this horrible crash. Mm-hmm. Well, most people have other family that you could do some investigating on yourself. I know they try to hit you right away, like, oh my God, my grandson's been in a crash in Nevada. Just think about the things that they say to you. Are they really out of reach? Like, when was the last time you knew that your grandson or grandchild was in, I use Nevada, New York, or wherever? call other people first. Don't always take what someone tells you on the phone to be true and accurate, because more than likely, if that would happen for real, you would get a call from probably the hospital. That's who would call you if you had a loved one. And depending on the severity of it, it wouldn't be a stranger. It would be, if not the hospital may call one or two people, and then they filter it out, right? You're going to get a call from a family member that's going to tell you that this happened. I know myself, I got like 3 emails last week that tell me my Netflix account, something happened to it, and that I need to, I don't even read it because I know, number one, I don't have Netflix. Right? So why?
That's it.
Right? So right there's a thing that you could have. I don't have Netflix, so I don't click on it. I don't do anything with it. Now, if you would happen to think maybe you do have a Netflix account, right? Click on it, and it's going to look bogus. And there may be a link on there. Click this link. Never click a link on something that was sent to you. If Netflix calls you and tells you your account is behind, there again, do some homework. Oh, did I pay my bill last month? Well, it's not behind. I'm not going to respond to that, right? There's so many things that I don't think we think about first. And I always feel that this happens to older folks, right? Because older folks are more trusting, right? If I called some old person and told them whatever, they'd probably believe me, right? So you have to do a little investigating on your own. Like when this happened to my mother, where they called and wanted her bank account information, she gave her bank account, her routing number,
Oh my God.
her check, her account numbers, and then it's not until the next day she calls and tells me that this happened. So now we have to go into damage control and call the bank and get all the accounts froze and all that stuff. Everything was good, but that doesn't mean somebody maybe bought a car in her name.
So, what words of advice do you have to our viewers when it comes to, because they have so many different scams. I was talking about a sweetheart scam where they, where they go online and they start becoming friendly with the person, and after a while they sucker them in and that kind of stuff. What are some of the words of advice you give to our
Well,
viewers?
do your homework, right? Make sure whatever they sent to you is legitimate. Somebody calls you on the phone and says, hey, I'm so-and-so from PP&L, and we need your information for, your account is off or whatever. Okay, do you have a number that I can call you back at? Try that, right? Because more than likely somebody that's calling you to scam you isn't going to be able to give you a number back, or say, give me your name and number. I'm going to call PP&L myself and ask them, hey, and if you don't understand it, because I know like my mom doesn't understand a lot of things like that, then call somebody that can help you, right? Whether it's a family member or a neighbor or a friend, that would help you to figure it out.
And they prey on the seniors.
I don't know how they can just pick the seniors so that they get a bunch of strikeouts, like if they call me and I tell them where to go, and then they get, the seniors who will give them that information.
They're down to a science, aren't they, Dave?
Yeah, and don't ever fall into something where they want you to pay with a bunch of gift cards. You don't pay bills with gift cards, right? You either pay with a check or credit card. You don't pay. If somebody calls and says you owe whatever on this account, check the account first. They don't usually call you. I feel like if your account's bad, they'll send you an email, right? Because they have all your contact information.
Jerry, have you ever been?
Well, the other thing I was told, being in business, we get a lot of calls. I was told never say yes, because they keep trying to say, is this the owner? Well, who are you asking for? No, is this the owner? Don't say yes, because they can dub that in to something that they're going to use against you. And they said, well, you said yes. Now, I have learned that in the car business a lot.
What is the most common scam?
I don't think it's like a common named scam. I think it's just they try to get your information from you, right?
And then they sell it.
Right, and then they sell it, or they use it for themselves, or whatever it may be. But I think them trying to get you to give up something that revolves around your finances, your bank account, your credit card, whatever. That's what I think is the most common.
And they're not all based in the United States. The mother-in-law years ago got scammed for, they're seniors, they're retired, and every couple $100 means a lot. They ended up paying something, agreed to it for several hundred, $600-700. Told my wife, Janet, she said, why did you pay that? Well, they threatened that we owed this money, and here the Attorney General of Michigan, they live in Michigan, got involved. It was happening. So it was people from Canada. It was Canadians scamming people. They got their money back. But the Attorney General, it was so rampant that the Attorney General in Michigan got involved, and they told everybody, like you would do, if you're suspecting this, call the authority, call your local police, your state police, and turn it in, because they had enough people that complained and called the police that now it opened up the door for the Attorney General.
Do you, when you're doing your, you speak in all the different areas, and you're talking about scams, have you heard some, I'm sure you heard some sad stories, and
I mean, there's
like the IRS, I mean, the IRS is not going to call you on the phone.
Right, the IRS is not going to call you and ask for money.
Yeah.
Like most of these scams are revolving around where they'll call you, but that truthful company isn't going to call you,
No.
right? They're not going to call you about A, B, and C, right? So you can always, hey, give me your name and number, hang up, and call who they say they're from, and they'll probably tell you, no, they're not.
It's very simple, my friends. You get a phone call, hang up. Just hang up, because, and they're so trustworthy. I mean, but just hang up, because I'm sure you've seen, heard some terrible stories that's scamming, your mom. I mean, look at your mom.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah. I read her the riot act too for doing that. Like, Mom, you should have just hang up.
You know what your son does?
Yeah, right. Hang up and call me, and I'll tell you that was not right.
The other opening line that I've experienced quite a bit, I don't know some other business, but I'm calling on behalf of. Well, no, wait a minute. Then why aren't they calling? Well, I'm calling on behalf of. Behalf of who?
Right.
Or on behalf of the state police. I'm calling on behalf of this school. Well, where are you calling from? Well, they won't tell. I said, where are you calling? Well, we're calling from Texas. Why are you calling me from Texas?
Right.
I said, if you come to my door and knock on my door, so you got to watch that. When they use the phrase calling on behalf of, do a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yep.
Dave, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And if any of you ever want Dave, and what areas you cover?
Berks, Lebanon, Schuylkill County.
Yeah. And you're available to go to speak to groups?
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I want to congratulate and thank the Pennsylvania State Troopers for what they do.
Thank you.
I don't think many people know that every day you get up, you're putting your life at risk, and you have families, etc. And hats off to the, they should be your friends, not your enemies.
Yeah, I wish there was more friends. Yeah, but I feel we have more friends than we have enemies.
Yeah, I think.
Except the enemies have a bigger mouth.
That's right.
Right, they have a bigger stack.
Well, you guys do
Well
a great
said,
job.
Dave.
Thank you.
Do a great
Thank
job.
you.
Okay, we're going to take a break, my friends. You're watching the Schuylkill Report. Remember, if you have any information whatsoever that you'd like Jerry and I to talk about, or if you'd like to come on as a guest to talk about what's happening in your area, we welcome you at sam@ssptv.com. And once again, thank you for making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. I appreciate that very much. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Schuylkill Report, my friends. This is show number 2, and we're talking about what's happening in Schuylkill County, a lot of activities. Remember, if you have anything that's happening or anything that we should be talking about in the different towns, I'd love to have it. We talked about Shenandoah, we talked about the Jordan Brothers in Frackville, and a lot of interesting things happening. And we're here at the wonderful Majestic Theater. It's a beautiful theater, and we're here with Lisa Gillespie, who is the executive director of the Majestic Theater. Hey, thanks for having us here today.
Thanks for asking.
I mean, it's very hard to get Jerry on a stage. He's very bashful.
He's so shy.
He's so shy. I'm trying to get him out of his shell, but it's working. And Jerry, you know Lisa a little bit, don't you?
Yes, we've worked together quite a bit. What's really been great, is her work here is more of a volunteer than anything. She has really put the Majestic Theater on the map the past several years, creating new events, working with other organizations like the Lions Club. We will be having a movie here. It's a free Christmas movie, paid, sponsored by the Pottsville Lions Club, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And that'll be on December the 8th. There'll be Santa, there'll be candy for the kids, free popcorn. That's all made possible because of Lisa and working with us and other nonprofits to bring events to the theater for the public that are free. We've had a lot of Lisa bank sponsors, supporters over the years, and many other organizations. And the theater, and Lisa just gave me the go-ahead, and then I have to allow her to talk, but theater has a lot of history.
That'd be nice.
Theater has, the theater has a lot of history, and Lisa and I were talking about it. But in 2004, they purchased the theater, the Bicentennial Committee, and it was part of an initiative through the Pottsville Bicentennial, which you were involved in. In 2006, the theater opened. It's one of only a few, and I don't want to say that word, but it's only 2, 3, or 4 theaters that were built in reverse, where when you come in the front door, you walk up. You don't come in that door and walk up this way. So it's a reverse theater. It's very unique for the time when it was built, and that's what makes it unique. And all the money raised, right, Lisa, was all donations?
Donations, sponsors,
fundraisers.
fundraisers,
So what do you do here?
everything.
Yeah, well, tell me about it.
Well, I am responsible for scheduling all the programming from events that we do ourselves, all our in-house productions, to bringing in outside acts, concerts, comedians, movies, anything that happens in the theater goes through me.
Okay.
I also am responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the building. I clean the bathrooms.
No, I
do
see.
it all.
I see you have all the clothes out and
Yep.
costumes, etc. I guess this is for the upcoming events, right?
Yep, we're right now in production for A Christmas Carol. This year, I think we've done 9 live productions, which is a lot for such a small.
So if someone wants to have
building.
like an event here, or if they want to, if there's a private organization that wants to have a play or a seminar or whatever, they contact you?
They contact me. They can email me at majestictheaterpottsville@gmail.com. They can call 570-628-2833. They can message me through our Facebook page, Majestic Theater Pottsville. And we have several different ways that you can accomplish that. You can rent the theater for a ticketed event. We can do a split on ticket sales. We're very user-friendly.
There's a lot of Lions Club has the event coming up, right? But what else?
Well, the Lions Club, it's our free Christmas movie. We've been doing it, I think, about 10 years. And we make a charitable donation, monetary donation to the theater every year. We always have. And then Lisa had said, well, would you just like to run a movie? So we came up with doing the free Christmas movie where the Lions buys the Christmas stockings and Santa shows up and all that. But something really unique that I'd like Lisa to touch on, she has had some big name people here.
Yeah, who you have other than Sam
Was
Lesante?
it
It's not-
Other
Sam
than me.
Lesante.
what,
Okay.
Asner?
Ed Asner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he came in and did his one-man show here about a month before he passed away. He was the feather in my cap.
Was he?
Yeah. And actually,
Was he nice?
He was feisty.
Was he really?
He was very feisty. Yeah, he was wonderful.
Yeah.
But he was 91, I believe, when he performed here, and he got on a plane at 8 o'clock in the morning in California.
Yeah.
And we picked him up at the airport in Philadelphia at 9 o'clock at night. Long day. Long
And he
day.
had to perform that night.
No, I had to stick him in a hotel that night, and then he performed the next
It wasn't
day.
long after that he passed away, right?
No, we were his last live performance.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Who else have you had here?
Earl David Reed, the comedian, he is wildly popular.
Yeah.
And lucky for us, he's coming back again on January 12th. He was actually, Ed Asner sold out and Earl David Reed sold out. They were the only 2 outside acts that have sold out for us so far. He's brilliant. So
And some of the movies, I'm going to
One of the Jordan brothers was here too, but not Frank. Okay, yeah, Frank was
Did he
here.
pass too?
No,
He's
Frank,
not- no,
Frank's
he's
the only
still-
brother still alive. Yeah, we did an event with him at the museum one time. But you, just recently, Lisa, you've had some really hit movies you've had that you were sold out on here.
Our in-house productions have sold out. So our production of Chicago,
That's the one, I'm sorry.
White Christmas, yeah, so those aren't movies, those are actually our musicals. White Christmas sold out, Mamma Mia sold out.
You don't see this theaters like this in the towns. In Hazleton, I remember 3, 5, 6 theaters, and we used to have the battle of bands. But yeah, it's great to have this like this. Listen, I want to thank you for coming on. I wish you the best. You know, a lot of people, as Jerry said, you do a lot of volunteer work, and I think you should be applauded for that. That's really
Thank you, it's a pleasure and a privilege.
my friend's Lisa Gillespie. She is the executive director of the Majestic Theater. If you're interested in having an event here, she told you what's the phone number again now?
570-628-2833. And all of our information on our upcoming events are available at our website, majestictheater.net, or on our Facebook page, Majestic Theater Pottsville.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Schuylkill Report. SamandSSPTV.com, my friend. Just give me an email. Let me know what's going on in your area. We'd love to have it. I'm here with my co-host, Jerry Enders. Jerry, we have activities happening from now until our next tapings. What's going on?
Well, hey, we just finished up Pioneer Evergreen Farms event, and that is hosted by Explorer Schuylkill, Regina and the gang, our Visitors Bureau. And that was a great event down there, and it's the second year or third year they've been doing it. And it was a free event. It brings the kids and Santa and hay rides, and just a great event. That was a good time. That was all day on a Saturday, nice weather and all. But hey, we got some other good stuff coming up. Pottsville, the Bicentennial, Yuengling Bicentennial Park, hosted by Lasting Legacy, on December 3rd and December 10th, will be lighting up the Yuengling Bicentennial Park right up there on Montatonga Street. Another great event's been going on many years. And like I said, Lasting Legacy is hosting that. Thanks again to the Pottsville Lions Club. They made a contribution. They're going to have real reindeer, Sam, the real deal. They're going to have Santa. They're going to have carriage rides, hot chocolate, entertainment. It's just a great event, and that runs from 4 to 8 on Sunday the 3rd and Sunday the 10th of December.
Great.
And that's a great event.
A lot of things happening. Huh?
A lot of things happening all over the county. And talking about county, real quick,
Go ahead.
it's not Elf on the Shelf in Pottsville. Now it's the elf hunt throughout Schuylkill County.
Okay.
So, and you and I, with the Schuylkill Report's all about the county. So if you're going around the county, look for
Look for
the
the elf. What do you get?
There's prizes at the end of
you
the
get a visit
rainbow.
with Jerry Enders, right?
Well, maybe, or Sam, maybe we'll have one here. But Sam, it's great, and I'm looking forward to our next one.
What's going on with them?
Well, at the end of December, we're going to be interviewing with TJ Fitzpatrick and the Greater Pottsville Winter Carnival. That'll be coming up in January. So we'll be having TJ Fitzpatrick on, and we'll be filming that on the 12th. So that'll be on in January. And Sam, I just want to tell you to just have a wonderful holiday. You know, the whole December. Celebrate the whole December, Sam.
I will. Thank you, Uncle Jerry.
Yeah, and everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
So people are asking me when they saw the show, do you know Jerry Enders? Of course, you haven't been watching my show. Jerry and I go back many, many years. In 1999, he and Dave Clues were among many who welcomed us here. I also want to thank, of course, our media sponsors, the Pottsville Republican Herald. You can get all of your information, my friends, in the Pottsville Republican Herald. Of course, the Standard Speaker as well. We'll see you next time.